Okay. Wow. Okay, you got visionary. All right, so I'm going to read this to you. Okay, it says, now it has light attributes and dark attributes. So this is like, if it's coming up for you positively this month, it's going to be in the realm of this up here. And if it's negative, it's going to be kind of like what they say here. But if it's down here, you can get it up here. Okay, and we'll talk about that. So yours is visionary. Light attributes, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So maybe you're going to have a breakthrough this month, maybe. Okay? You might have a really, really great idea that just spurs you this month, you know? That kick in the gut. And it's like, you know, you have to do it. Or you know you have to talk about it. Or you know you have to teach it. Whatever it is for you. Or try it at work. Or a new technique. Or you guys are like the inventors of the zodiac anyway. So if you have the negative, if it's coming up negatively for you, it says selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. So this is kind of like, maybe you're having a bright idea, but you don't know how others, so you're like basically working out of fear. You don't know how others are going to receive it. So you water it down. Don't water it down. Okay. So keep this in mind that this is the fragrance of your month. That's how I want you to think of it energetically, because it's going to influence the 3 cards we pick. Okay. Which I'll do right now. And the first position that we're going to do is physical. So it's going to be what's going on in the world around you. What, you know, what's your environment? What's physically happening? What's going on? You know, what you're doing. And got the 4 of Rods here. Okay. Let's see what, and the second card that we're going to pick is your mental and emotional card. How you're going to be feeling, what you're going to be thinking, you know, because those two are very closely linked, in my opinion. So this is what I've got here. So we have the 9 of Swords there. And the third card is going to be your spiritual card. And not meaning religious, or not meaning, I mean, it could encompass that, okay, for some of you. But it's going to be more like your, what level you're, you know, if we all go up in tiny little increments all the time. Little ascensions. And we got the 3 of Pentacles. Let me move these over a little bit. Okay. All right. So this is like where we're at spiritually, the lessons we need to learn, the, you know, the truth we need to, you know, hear for ourselves maybe, or allow ourselves to hear. And so this is what's going on. This is like what's going on with who you are in the grand scheme of things. This is what's going on in your head, and this is what's going on physically around you. Okay. So Gemini, for the 4 of Rods, we have you could be going in your physical surroundings. It could be going into a really good time in your home. Okay. This could be a time, maybe you're the host for whatever holiday you celebrate, or maybe you just like getting together. You go to other people's things, but it's a lot of celebration, and maybe this year you're going to be the one hosting, and it's really, really a good card for being in tune and in harmony with your mate, or with your very, very close family that lives in your home. you could be moving in with somebody. For those of you who are single and living separately, maybe, you know, or not single but living separately, maybe you guys could be making the dive this month. Maybe you're deciding that you're just now, it's coming up that you're deciding to do that. Okay, so maybe you haven't voiced that opinion yet, or maybe you're thinking about it, but this might be your confirmation that it's okay, it's a go. It seems like it'll be happy, okay, because I see happiness there. And fours also are foundation, so it's going to be something that will last, okay, something that can be built upon. I won't say will last, because many things happen that will last that don't, that could, okay. So I will say that it's something that is able to be built on. It's a good foundation, okay. It's something with good bones, a good start, all right. And then let's go to your inside your head, Gemini. Those heads, you guys have to forgive me. I think I'm getting like a sinus infection or something. All right, so we have sorrow. Look at this card. Isn't it beautiful? I love how she kept the artwork original, but see, this is why I turn the camera around. I'm going to use these a lot, and it's really good for you guys to be, you really need to see it, you know, so holding it up, it just doesn't cut it. You got to be able to get a good view. So in your head, this is like insomnia to me, this card. This is like regret. It says sorrow, anguish, and crisis. Sob. I feel like it's insomnia because your wheels are turning. Okay, for some of you. For some of you, I feel like this could really be like you feel like you're having, like it's a tip of the peak of something for you. Like you're not sleeping right, you might not be eating right, you might be so far in your head. Or seasonal depression for some of you. You know, see the background is very light, it's very icy blue. Okay. To me, that's like if you look out a window and, you know, this time of year where it's starting to get cold. It's not too bad here. I don't know about you guys. But in some places it's already very, very cold. And this to me just is like, look it. They're not relaxed. They're not laying down. They can't lay down. And it's a very flat, streamlined. So it's like to lay down would be discomfort, and all these swords represent an issue. All these swords represent thoughts that are like cutting on the way in and on the way out, and that's what's going through your head. And swords represent air, which represents thoughts, okay? So these are like, you might be having either some repetitive thoughts, okay? Or you may have, your schedule may have been completely turned. So if you guys are working like an opposite schedule, you know, that could be getting to you, but it looks like it's coming to an end because we're at the 9 here. But for some of you, you might need to get like some kind of like stay up a whole day, you know, and then go to bed at the normal time to reset your clock. But, you know, don't let things bother you to the point where it's keeping you up at night, because that's what I'm really feeling is going on here. Or this idea, this invention, this breakthrough. Remember? I'll hold that so you can see. Okay. You could be doing something that would help a lot of people, or you can be doing something that would be like a breakthrough for you personally, okay? Or both. So with this card being in the shadow, I really feel like this card is kind of like you're trying to figure it out. It's like steam. The wheels are turning. You know, there's a lot of it's like your wheels are spinning, but there's not forward movement yet. You know, and I feel like once that 9 goes from the 10, it's going to be like that. It's going to be, it's going to go full steam ahead, you know, real quick, because you're going to finally have the breakthrough, finally get the idea. But if you're in the negative part of that visionary card, you are not going to get the clarity or I don't want to say clarity, but I want to say like the bravery, okay, to move forward the way you really want it to be, because I feel like if you do it a different way, well, like this says, okay, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. It's like you come up with, like, say a TV show, for instance, and then you give them a pilot and they like it, but they want you to change the characters and change, you know, and pretty soon it's picked apart and sewn back together until it's unrecognizable. It's like, don't do that, because you'll regret it more than not doing it at all, you know. But it's also saying, you know, go forward, because this is just the end of once you get the breakthrough idea, once you get out of your head and you let your creative energies flow, and you kind of like, maybe you need a sounding board. I feel like with some of you might need to bounce your ideas off of somebody or something, you know, like off of maybe statistically what's happened before with you, or, you know, what's your numbers. For those of you who are in finance or anything like that, you know, you might have something that is you know, you have to check the risks. But once that breaks through, you're going to feel really, really good and really connected to what you're doing, and your thoughts are going to chill and your sleep is going to come back. Okay? Spiritually, we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay? So this is higher learning. This is growing your mind, growing your ideas, growing your spirit. This is in your spirituality. So it would be growing, you know, learning something new. I feel like this time it's reading. This time it's really books. I don't see books on here. I do see school. Build tools and apprentice. Yeah. But I'm seeing books. Like, I feel like you're going to learn. This is a month where maybe a lot of you are going to crawl up with a good book. Or maybe this idea that you have here and here is going to be somewhat challenging, and you're going to have to, that's what you're doing all night, all the time with this, is you're constantly trying to learn how to have that breakthrough, how to get, you know, figure it out. And maybe, you know, you'll be reading a lot, and it's kind of like intertwined. What you're going to be doing might be like your form of therapy, or, you know, like this might be your thing, whatever this is for you, if this is your job for some of you. But I feel like maybe some of you could be inventing something or figuring something out, or a long-awaited project is finally going to be over, and you're not going to have to worry as much after that, because I feel like this is a lot of worry. And here it's kind of like maybe you're going to teach it to others, or maybe you need to learn something more yourself before you can implement your idea. Okay, so or maybe you got the idea and you know how to do it, but you've never done it before, but you know somebody who knows how to do it. So you're going to be coming and saying, hey, you want to come over and you want to help me? And they're going to be like, yeah. So you're going to learn from somebody else, hands-on. This is You know, somebody might give you a book to learn something, but for some of you, this is, you're going to say, okay, hey, I got this great idea. What do you think about helping me do this? And then someone who knows how to maybe build or use tools